For example, your daily serving of dark green leafy vegetables. These contain the best antioxidants that nature can give you. Dark green leafy vegetables are well known to be one of the best resources of iron. Have a daily diet of dark green leafy vegetables, which can be combined with other vegetables as well. Another thing is fruits. Try and consume fruits which are considered as antioxidants. And purple tea, alongside with green tea. For some people, purple tea is the best. It's more palatable than green tea. It's one of your best safeguards. If you have type 2 diabetes, it helps to control the release of glucose into your bloodstream. So that is another thing that you can consider making your best friend. When you cook eggs, try as much as possible to boil them. Another thing that you need to take every now and then is milk, because milk will increase your calcium levels. It will strengthen your bones. It will give you that growth factor that you need, and especially for older women. Okay, for those who say binguni tutapea mwili mpya, this one is really not for you. But if you want to remain vibrant and energetic for many, many years, cut sugar out of your diet. But once your body gets used to not having sugar all the time, it regulates itself very well, and you'll notice that your metabolism improves. Everything about you will improve. These are health tips here on Self-Care Tips. I am Irene Joroge.
Nilipimwa hospitalini, kabainika nilikuwa na TB.
Nilianza matibabu ya TB mara moja. Nilimeza dawa zangu bila kukosa kwa muda unaofaa, kama nilivyoshauriwa na daktari.
Matibabu bila malipo katika hospitali zote za umma. Tujijali, tumalize TB. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Wizara ya Afya na washirika wake.
Mwongo mmoja umekamilika. Twarejea kwa udi na uvumba, kwa vishindo si haba, nderemo na vifijo. Tulia tuli, maana mambo si kama kawaida tena, kwani kupitia runinga yako ya KBC ushapata tarehe. Vitimbi hivi karibuni.
From wherever you're watching us in Kenya and around the world, this is KBC Prime Edition, setting our eyes on the news this Tuesday, the 29th day of March 2022. The time now, 9 o'clock.
And welcome to the most comprehensive news. It's political season, and we have all the political events as they happened across the country. Of course, the most political outfits as they drummed support, even for their candidates and also for the positions that they are eyeing come August 2022 general election. Welcome to this broadcast. I'm Purity Museo.
And my name is Mboya. But first things first, our headline stories.
Admitting the Democratic Republic of Congo into the East African community is historic.
The Democratic Republic of Congo officially joins the East African community.
In Kenya, malnutrition is a leading cause of infant and child morbidity, mortality and hospital admissions.
26% of children under the age of 5 in the country suffer from stunted growth due to poor nutrition. ODM clarifies that no aspirant will be given direct nomination. A very warm welcome to this live broadcast.
At KBC Channel 1 News, at Purity_Museo, at Mboya24, the hashtag is Prime Edition. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Anne Wangeshi.
Straight to our top story, the Orange Democratic Movement ODM National Election Board has dismissed as untrue reports that the party has issued direct nomination to some of the aspirants.
Speaking at Chungwa House, the party's National Election Board chairperson Catherine Muma said direct nomination only applied to the presidential candidates.
Well, she said that the party will embrace a democratic process in picking its aspirants for various positions during ODM's primaries, which will be held between the 1st and the 21st of April, the year 2022. Here is that report.
The Orange Democratic Movement has been embroiled in a row over its party primaries, with some candidates claiming to have been offered direct nomination. In the wake of the grumbling over some aspirants being favored, ODM's National Election Board chairperson Catherine Muma sought to clarify the party's position.
We have not sat to determine who is getting direct ticket on the basis of that. So the information in the media around listing or in social media listing certain people who have received direct tickets is not information that has come from the board.
Speaking at Chungwa House, Muma said during ODM primaries that will be held between the 1st and the 21st of April this year, they will use consensus, universal suffrage, direct nomination in areas where there is no other ODM candidate, and voting through delegates.
Because the method of consensus continues. If we are coming to Nakuru on Friday and then we learn that in the electoral area where we are going, the candidates have agreed, we will not carry out that election. So much as we have a schedule, do not be surprised if maybe we will not turn up in one of the areas because they have reached consensus in most of them or in all of them.
She stated that party primaries for Narok, Kajiado and Migori counties will be rescheduled because they fall on a Saturday, and gave an assurance of a free and fair exercise.
And where we'll end up doing the universal suffrage, we would like to assure all our members that the process will be free and fair, and as you will see, it will be simple and everybody will have an opportunity to participate.
Guidelines issued by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC in January this year dictate that all parties cleared to contest in the general election conclude their nomination by April the 22nd.
And Deputy President Dr. William Ruto now says the Kenya Kwanza political outfit is the only political formation with a people-centered agenda. Speaking on Tuesday in Kitui and Makueni counties, Ruto claimed that his competitors are thriving on the politics of deceit.
The Kenya Kwanza Brigade took their campaigns to Kitui and Makueni counties. Deputy President William Ruto said the Hustler Nation is the only political formation that has the people's interest, urging Kenyans to reject the Raila-led Azimio la Umoja coalition.
Wale ambao tunashindana na wao wanasema eti this is a constitutional moment. We are telling them this is not a constitutional moment. This is an economic moment.
The Deputy President asked Ukambani residents to join the Hustler Nation, promising to sign an economic charter that addresses their challenges.
The people of Kenya want to know how their children are going to get jobs, how everybody will do their business, and how we are going to have enough food so that we can eliminate hunger in our country.
Sisi tunaamini ya kwamba ile shida kubwa Kenya ambayo lazima tupambane nayo ni shida ya umaskini. Tuhakikishe kwamba kila mwananchi ako na pesa kwa mfuko yake.
But as Ruto led the wing of the Kenya Kwanza in the Ukambani vote hunting mission, his core principals Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula were in Bukamala Resort in Matayos constituency in Busia County.
How can there be a shortage of fuel in Kenya when Uganda gets their fuel in Napita, inaenda Uganda? The Ugandans have no shortage of fuel, which has traversed through Kenya, and yet Kenya, which has facilitated Uganda fuel going there, there's no fuel shortage, but there's a fuel shortage here. What is happening?
Ikitoka Mombasa inapitia Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi mpaka Congo, mafuta Congo iko cheaper than Kenya. How do you explain that? Other than mismanaged economy. Kwa hivyo hiyo kura tukipiga mama, tunaenda kupiga kura ya kuteremsha bei ya unga.
The leaders demanding the Ministry of Finance to explain the cause of fuel shortage in some parts of the country. Separately, Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru has urged President Uhuru Kenyatta to consider having another handshake with his deputy William Ruto as the country heads to the general election.
Sisi tunakuomba kwa heshima, miezi 4 ambayo imebaki, wewe tafadhali fanya handshake na William Samoei Ruto. Ndio hawa watu wasikuwa upande mmoja na wewe upande mwingine ukienda nyumbani mwezi wa 8.
Now, the university's academic staff union has declared its support for Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga in the August elections. The union that brings together lecturers as well as university staff from at least 31 public universities around the country announced the move during a meeting with Raila at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation. Here is that story.
So I believe very strongly the country cannot grow without intellectual property, developing intellectual property, doing research. If you do not fund research, the country cannot develop. Because you will be depending too much on expatriates. And this has been really our major drawback. You know, to expatriates or even foreign companies do not come into the country to develop a country. They come to invest so that they can be able to make profits, and once they made the profit, they expatriate it back to pay their shareholders as dividends. So you need to develop indigenous intellectual capital. And therefore the country must invest properly in research, encourage our people. And it basically means reordering your priorities. That is what is important. I know you guys are talking about your own conditions, which is very important, because people cannot work hard when they're not properly motivated.
Also, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties has commenced the process of certification of political party registers submitted by the March 26, 2022 deadline. According to the Registrar of Political Parties, Anne Ndiritu, the total number of members of political parties is slightly above 24 million, with a total of 82 political parties having submitted their membership register for certification. The registrar also confirmed that 650 out of 912 persons who had applied to be cleared from parties that had enrolled them have been issued with clearance letters.
With less than 5 months to the August polls, it's a race against time for political players who are now faced with the task of meeting the applicable deadlines and election requirements. The deadline for being a member of a political party on which to contest in the 2022 general election lapsed on the 26th of March 2022, with the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties reporting that the current total members of political parties stands at 24,005,714, with a total of 82 political parties having submitted their membership register for certification.
The current total members of political parties as per 26 March stands at 24,005,714, comprising of over 15 million members who are male and 8.6 million who are female. Party members recruited to parties after the 26th deadline will not be part of the certified register.
According to the Registrar of Political Parties, Anne Ndiritu, so far 650 people have received clearance letters to run as independent candidates.
We want to note that by the close of business of yesterday, which is 28th of March 2022, 912 persons had manually applied to the Office of Registrar of Political Parties for clearance that they are not members of political parties, out of which 650 applications have already been processed and clearance letters issued.
And as political parties finalize their plans for the upcoming party primaries, Ndiritu is appealing for peaceful nominations, which she terms as a key pillar for a free and fair election.
The registrar appeals for peaceful party nominations and peaceful engagement with members of the public by the political parties.
The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is expected to submit the certified party membership register to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission by the 9th of April 2022. For Prime Edition, I'm Safin Aching Oma.
Now, the Chief Justice, Martha Koome, now says that the Judicial Service Commission will endeavour to dispense justice real-time to all Kenyans. Speaking after presiding over the swearing-in of Jacqueline Ngutia as the female representative of the Law Society of Kenya to the Judicial Service Commission, as well as 19 other members of political parties' disputes tribunal, Koome said that her main agenda is promoting an independent, transparent, as well as accountable judiciary. Koome applauded the team that was sworn in, even as she called on them to honor the oath, particularly of serving the country to the best of their abilities. She urged them to be valuable team players in the commission towards the realization of the constitutional mandate of the JSC.
And all allowances or what is or may be allowed to me by law in writing. So help me God.
The oath you have taken today should guide you in your day-to-day work. According to the oath, you must never depart from the law. In addition, the oath equally requires you to serve this country to the best of your abilities, bearing in mind the enormous responsibility that is placed before you. So you join the other members of the PPDT to resolve disputes relating to political parties and disputes arising from political parties' primaries. This means that you have a role in the protection of our democracy.
And the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Administration and National Security has taken issue with failure by Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i to appear before the committee this morning to address the issue of insecurity in Laikipia, Baringo, Isiolo and Samburu counties. Departmental Committee on Administration and the National Security Chairperson Peter Mwadhi faulted the Cabinet Secretary for failing to delegate the matter to other relevant officials in the ministry for any reason he couldn't honor the invite. In a letter addressed to the committee this morning, Interior CS Dr. Matiang'i said he could not appear before the committee after being summoned by President Uhuru Kenyatta to discuss matters touching on the supplementary budget.
A police officer worked for over 25 years, died in the line of duty, and still his pension is not paid, Chair. I mean, what are we trying to show? That we do not care for the police officers, whether they live or die? It is just the big people we are worried about? Chair, that is completely wrong.
KBC Prime Edition.
We still have plenty more to come, including business news with Betty Kiptum and sports with Karen Kibet. Stay tuned for that.
Nimefanya biashara kwa muda mrefu, lakini raundi hii maisha yamekuwa magumu.
Agas nilikuwa najaza na 700, sasa hizi imekuwa ni 1400.
Despair.
I will strive to eradicate this feeling among majority of Kenyans.
And we will remove the curse of poverty on Kenyans.
Promises, but Kenyans want solutions now. Where are we? How did we get here? What are the solutions? The choking inflation, a 2-day KBC special coverage on the high cost of living.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Nilipoanza kukohoa, kuhisi maumivu kwa kifua, uchovu mwilini, joto jingi mwilini, kutokwa na jasho jingi usiku, kukosa hamu ya chakula na kupoteza uzito haraka. Nilipimwa hospitalini, kabainika nilikuwa na TB.
Nilianza matibabu ya TB mara moja. Nilimeza dawa zangu bila kukosa kwa muda unaofaa, kama nilivyoshauriwa na daktari.
Ugonjwa wa TB sio uchawi. Mtu yeyote yule anaweza kupatwa na ugonjwa huu, lakini ukimeza dawa vizuri, TB inatiba.
Nilitibiwa TB, nikapona na niko sawa.
TB inatiba. Pata matibabu bila malipo katika hospitali zote za umma. Tujijali, tumalize TB. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Wizara ya Afya na washirika wake.
Ili kupata skiza tune ya Tabasamu ni bure. Bonyeza *811 *965#.
Maneno matamu humfanya mtu atabasamu ghafla, na pia mawazo mema huzifanya hali zitabasamu mbele yako ghafla. Hali ngumu zikawa nyepesi, hali tete zikatamanika. Ila unaponuna pia hali zinanuna. Hebu jifunze kutabasamu.
Kupata skiza tune ya Tabasamu ni bure. Bonyeza *811 *965#. *811 *965#.
The management, staff and students of Museo School wish to convey our congratulatory message to the KCPE candidates on their well-deserved success. Well done and congratulations on passing the 2021 KCPE exams.
I will take your sons in this school before I ever go for any transfer.
Guy Kinanzi, you are going to be a mambuzu.
As for you, Farah, I will find a way of dealing with you. Your talent, dedication and hard work have led you to victory. Museo School, home of the boy child.
Welcome back to KBC Prime Edition. Let's take you straight to the corridors of justice. 2 women have been arraigned at Milimani Law Courts and charged with conspiracy to steal a 1-month-old baby in Nairobi's Kayole area. The duo, however, denied the charges before Chief Magistrate Wendy Mushemi, who released them on bond terms.
It's alleged that the accused persons and others not before court conspired to commit a felony of stealing a baby aged 1 month old from unknown parents in Kayole, Nairobi this year. Appearing before Chief Magistrate Wendy Mushemi, Felicitas Wairimu and Lydia Wanjiku pleaded not guilty and were released on a 500,000 shillings bond. The case will be mentioned on 12th of April for pre-trial directions. Meanwhile, the incitement case against Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei has been adjourned to 30th March 2022. This follows an application made by the defense lawyers who say they needed time to go through the documents and prepare for the cross-examination.
It's therefore imperative that he be given a chance to appoint advocates to represent him, and now that he has done so, which is fairly reasonable, we need time also to look at the documents.
The lawyers further urged they picked up the matter late and didn't get time to prepare their statements. Lynn Chalo for Prime Edition.
3 unions have presented a petition to the National Assembly seeking to reform the labour policy and legal frameworks. The unions, Kenya Union of Domestic, Hotel, Educational Institutions, Hospitals and Allied Workers, KUDEIHA, and Amalgamated Union of Kenya Metal Workers of Kenya, and the Forum for International Cooperation, who Tuesday held peaceful demonstrations within Nairobi town, presented the petition to the National Assembly demanding labour rights of Kenyan workers to be addressed. There isn't much more in our county news roundup.
The Kenya Union of Domestic, Hotel, Educational Institutions, Hospitals and Allied Workers, KUDEIHA, is advocating for effective law enforcement and streamlining of the country's policies to ensure that non-standard employment in all sectors meet the minimum requirements for decent work in the country. Led by KUDEIHA General Secretary Rose Omamo, the union held peaceful demonstrations in Nairobi CBD before heading to National Assembly grounds.
We need regulations that would regulate these kind of policies so that we have workers within an environment that they can even recognize their employers. In the outsourced companies, you ask these workers, who is your employer? They don't know. They just know that we have been brought here to work and we are paid our wages weekly or monthly, and the wages are pathetic.
In Kisii County, Nyangiti DAB Primary School in Bonchari constituency is appealing to the government and well-wishers to help renovate its dilapidated learning infrastructures.
I've already placed money. You know, government budgeting, there is budgeting to be done. This financial year of 2021-2022, the classrooms that are going to be built and upgrading of the classroom. If you notice to visit Nyangiti Primary, there is a road that is being constructed by Kura. Most of those classrooms, we are going to put more money so that we can do good classroom for the students.
Despite the deplorable learning environment, the school recorded good performance in the 2021 Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE results, becoming the most improved school in the Nyanza region. In Bungoma, the county governor Wycliffe Wangamati has promised a full scholarship to the third-best 2021 KCPE pupil, Charity Bunyanzi, who happens to hail from his county. And 10 political parties won the recently Political Party Act, which bars candidates from joining other parties after they failed nomination quashed. Led by Secretary General of Party of Independent Candidates of Kenya, Julius Wambua, said barring candidates from joining other parties after nomination is undemocratic.
Vyama vingi katika taifa letu havina uwezo wa kufanya michujo ya haki. Havina fedha, havina manpower, na havina nia ya kufanya mchujo wa haki.
Finally, strengthening the capacity of national human rights institutions is key in preventing and addressing human rights violations, especially in the run-up to polls. This is according to the Network of African National Human Rights Institutions Executive Director Gilbert Sebihogo, who says authorities should be on alert during the electoral process when there are increased cases of human rights violation.
Our redress faction is a mandate we have in the Commission, and we are working on regulations which are currently being tabled at the Law Reform Commission to give us the power to actually offer redress going forward.
It's about actually getting them to understand very well their roles and responsibilities as they lead the national institutions, and of course trying to oversee the promotion, protection, advocacy of human rights in the continent.
Frederick Moki for Prime Edition.
Tonight on our weekly news feature, County Fact File, the focus is on County Code 005, Lamu.
Lamu County is located in the northern coast of Kenya and is one of the 6 coastal counties in Kenya. The county headquarters are in Lamu Town, The county borders Tana River County in the southwest, Garissa County to the north, Republic of Somalia to the northeast, and the Indian Ocean to the south. The county is made up of cosmopolitan population composed of indigenous communities of Swahili, Arab, Koreni, Boni, Ofma, and migrant communities from the rest of the country. The county has a total population of 143,920, of which 76,103 are males, 67,813 females, and 4 intersex persons according to the 2019 census. There are 37,963 households with an average household size of 3.7 persons and a population density of 23 people per square kilometer. The county has a land surface of 6,273.1 kilometers squared that include the mainland and over 65 islands that form the Lamu archipelago. The total length of the coastline is 130 kilometers, while land water mass area stands at 308 square kilometers. The county has 2 constituencies, namely Lamu West, with 51,542 registered voters, and Lamu East with 18,834 voters, as per the 2017 IEBC register. There are 10 electoral wards, 23 locations, and 38 sub-locations in the county. The main economic activities in the county include crop production, livestock production, fisheries, tourism, and mining. Fahim Yassin Twaha is the second governor after taking over from Isa Timami.
Nimefanya biashara kwa muda mrefu, lakini raundi hii maisha yamekuwa magumu.
Agas nilikuwa najaza na 700, sasa nilikuwa ni 1400.
Despair. I will strive to eradicate this feeling among majority of Kenyans.
We will remove the curse of poverty on Kenyans.
Promises, but Kenyans want solutions now. Where are we? How did we get here? What are the solutions? The choking inflation, a 2-day KBC special coverage on the high cost of living.
Nilipimwa hospitalini, kabainika nilikuwa na TB.
Nilianza matibabu ya TB mara moja. Nilimeza dawa zangu bila kukosa kwa muda unaofaa, kama nilivyoshauriwa na daktari.
Pata matibabu bila malipo katika hospitali zote za umma. Tujijali, tumalize TB. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Wizara ya Afya na washirika wake.
Mwongo mmoja umekamilika. Twarejea kwa udi na uvumba, kwa vishindo si haba, nderemo na vifijo. Tulia tuli, maana mambo si kama kawaida tena, kwani kupitia runinga yako ya KBC ushapata tarehe. Vitimbi hivi karibuni.
Good evening and thank you for staying with Prime Edition. Time now to do the business news. My name is Betty Kiptum. Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo has officially joined the East African community after more than 2 years of processes for admission. President Uhuru Kenyatta says admission of DRC demonstrates the agility of the EAC to expand beyond its socio-cultural boundaries to new people and trade-centered partnerships and collaboration that expand opportunities for citizens. DRC is the 7th member of the East African community.
The Democratic Republic of Congo was admitted to the EAC during the 19th Extraordinary Summit of EAC Heads of State held virtually on Tuesday. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the chair of the EAC, said the expanded community will attract more investments across all sectors, a move that will create more wealth and employment for the people, as well as combine resources to develop the much-needed infrastructure.
With the admission of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the community will expand significantly in various aspects of mutual benefit for all. Indeed, the combined population and GDP of our community will grow by 50% and 25% respectively.
The heads of state commended the DRC President Felix Tshisekedi for working hard to ensure his country joined the community, noting that the action is not only beneficial to his country, but the region at large.
The country's decision to join the EAC will afford you a great opportunity to extend space for peace and security, prosperity and solidarity within your country as well as to the region.
With our quest for wider and deeper integration of our region and the continent.
On behalf of the people of Uganda, welcoming His Excellency Antoine Tshisekedi and Congo, DRC, to join us, their brothers and sisters.
With a larger market of about 300 million people, President Kenyatta said the EAC will achieve better outcomes brought about by the economies of scale and pooling of productive human and financial resources.
We will build on the alignment and the verification report, established and develop strategic interventions on areas that need to be addressed to ensure the full participation of the DRC into the East African community.
A hearty congratulations and welcome to the DRC, to now the EAC. And customers of the liquidated Eurobank, Dubai Bank and Kenya Finance Bank will be cumulatively awarded 200 million shillings within the next 7 days from the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation as compensation for their deposits. KDIC is calling on all lenders to deposit their assets and liabilities within the corporation within a year.
30,000 depositors of the liquidated Euro, Dubai and Kenya Finance Bank will receive part of their deposits in the next 7 days. The three lenders, creditors and depositors will receive 200 million shillings, with the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation saying the latest payment is the final resettlement of the Eurobank claimants, while customers of Kenya Finance Bank and Dubai Bank will be paid 93% and 92% respectively.
We shall be distributing over 200 million shillings to the depositors and creditors of these three institutions, where we shall have fully paid 97% of Eurobank depositors and creditors. This time we're also talking of creditors. We shall have also fully paid 93% of the Kenya Finance and 92% of Dubai Bank depositors and creditors.
The Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation says it has so far collected 1.5 billion shillings from 19 liquidated banks, including Chase Bank, whose depositors have been compensated 90% of the claims lodged.
Also, currently we are liquidating 19 banks from a number of 27 banks. We managed to successfully wind up 8 banks.
Lenders have a year to register and deposit their assets and liabilities data in the newly created electronic data warehouse to ease and hasten compensation of depositors and creditors in case of liquidation of a bank.
Also coming up with an electronic data warehouse. Electronic data warehouse where we want all the data from the banks now to be deposited in that electronic data warehouse to ensure its integrity, accuracy and timeliness. Because what we also breathe here is data. When we are assessing the risk, we have to get the correct data.
KDIC is seeking to operationalize living will requirements for banks to offer lenders a chance to state how they would like their assets and liabilities handled in case of a collapse. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Kenya is now connected to the world with 6 high-speed undersea internet cables following the landing of the Peace submarine cable. ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru says the 49 billion shillings cable is faster and it has more stable communication services, offering the youth more opportunities to secure work online.
The Peace Cable is the 6th submarine cable to land in Kenya after Dare 1, Seacom, Teams, Issei and Lion 2. The 15,000-kilometer long Peace Cable offers Kenya a total capacity of 192 terabytes per second, as well as stable and secure data access possibilities. ICT Cabinet Secretary John Museo describes the 49 billion shillings new submarine cable, which offers the most direct connectivity route from Asia and East Africa to Europe, as a strategic asset, and this is why.
Many of our young people need the connectivity. They need affordable bundles so that they can be able to not only work here in Kenya, but they're also working overseas. With the Ajira digital program, they are being able to, for instance, transcribe, translate, do many of these online jobs across the world. So this cable makes it easier, it makes it faster. And for those who are even trading in the different commodities, then a cable like this, which is faster, with less latency, means that Kenya is competing with any part of the world by going very fast with the cable. This one is even giving us better connection to Europe, to Asia, to China, and it means then globally we are very competitive, and our young people can benefit from this.
There has been growth in demand for internet connectivity as more people explore income-generating opportunities online, and Museo believes the new cable will. For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondiga.
Now, underwriting losses in the general insurance business widened by more than 4 times to 6.34 billion shillings during the last 3 months of 2021, dragged by huge losses recorded in motor insurance. Data from the Insurance Regulatory Authority indicates that the motor private and motor commercial classes of insurance business recorded losses totaling 9.5 billion shillings. However, the losses were offset by workmen's compensation class of business that posted a profit of 2.8 billion shillings.
The latest data from Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA, shows that the industry's underwriting loss widened more than 4 times from 1.18 billion shillings reported in Q4 of 2020 to 6.34 billion shillings during a similar period in 2021. This was mainly attributed to increased loss ratios in motor private and motor commercial classes of insurance business due to relaxation of restrictions that had been imposed on travel due to COVID-19 pandemic. Motor private made an underwriting loss of 6.17 billion shillings, while motor commercial made an underwriting loss of 3.32 billion shillings. IRA says the industry could have made an underwriting profit of 3.15 billion shillings if the motor business was to be excluded. However, excluding the motor business would lead to a decline of 31% of overall general insurance business. The insurers reported claims incurred amounting to 70.14 billion shillings during the period. This was an increase of 22.3% of 57.36 billion shillings reported in the fourth quarter of 2020. The claims paid increased by 18.1% to 64 billion shillings compared to 54.19 billion shillings paid in Q4 of 2020. Medical, motor private and motor commercial had the highest amount of paid claims at 41.7%, 26.2% and 21% respectively of total industry paid claims under general insurance business. The data shows that insurance premiums grew 18.5% to 276.06 billion shillings. The Insurance Regulatory Authority has been pushing for a review of the current premium rates, which will increase the cost of insuring private and commercial vehicles.
Now, the Ministry of Devolution and the European Union have commissioned a sweet potato plant in Migori County, making it the first of its kind in the East African region. The 117 million shillings plant is expected to process over 100 tons of sweet potatoes daily, providing a ready market for the produce and help reduce post-harvest losses.
Korea region produces about 0.3 million tons of sweet potatoes annually, with an estimated 6,500 farmers involved in the production. Migori is listed as the second largest producer of orange-fleshed sweet potatoes, with 11,300 hectares under the crop. Due to this, construction and opening of a sweet potato processing plant in the area is seen as a boost to potato farmers who have faced challenges securing a steady market for the farm produce. Acting Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Omalo says the plant is among 15 other projects across the country that the Devolution Ministry is facilitating to help realize food security and manufacturing agendas of the government.
There's huge potential in these county sweet potatoes. We want to see how we can work with the local community, local leadership, to do some value addition so that we create employment but also enhance food security.
Area leaders noted that farmers require assistance in processing of the food crop and hitches in the supply chain addressed. They say sweet potatoes have remained unattractive to small-scale farmers due to market challenges.
And this is also being replicated in other counties, tomorrow in KBC County, where we have a lot of bananas, the land of Matoke, and we want to see a similar banana processing plant being put up in KBC and tomorrow.
Hibak Said for Prime Edition.
Well, that's all we have for you on the business desk. But before I go, are you feeling the brunt of the high cost of living? We have prepared a special bulletin for you tomorrow on Wednesday at 9 p.m. as well as Thursday at 9 p.m. to just explain how the situation is and how Kenya got here and maybe possible solutions to the high cost of living. Be sure to catch those bulletins tomorrow at 9 p.m. as well as on Thursday at 9 p.m. My name is Betty Kiptum. Karen Kibet is coming up with the latest in sports. Good night.
Are you an aspiring candidate in the upcoming general elections? Do you want your agenda and manifesto to reach your voters effectively? At KBC, we have the most comprehensive and credible online platform that has profiles of all prospective candidates. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants and let Kenyans know more about you, your past achievements, your manifesto, and your development agenda once you get elected to office. What's more, the website is easy to navigate. We will create your profile, post pictures and short videos with your campaign messages at affordable hosting fees. Log on to www.kbc.co.ke/2022 aspirants today and establish your brand authority as we lead towards the forthcoming general elections.
A very good evening to you. I do hope you're holding up well. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, Kenya's Angela Okutoyi qualified for the quarterfinals of the Africa Junior Tennis Championships in Sousse, Tunisia, after winning her opening match today. Okutoyi, who participated in the Junior Australian Open in January, defeated Morocco's Manal Enarisi by 2 straight sets. Alicia Owegi and Cynthia Wanjala also qualified for the doubles quarterfinals after beating Egypt's Shukri Leila and Sharif Jamin by 2 straight sets. Kenya has fielded only 2 girls' team in the one-week competition after the boys' team failed to qualify. . Now on to Matters Rally. Paras Pandya and Isra Misra are set to return from sabbatical after months of inactivity by signing up for the ARC Equator Rally, Kenya slated for Naivasha on Saturday and Sunday. The event will be held in the outskirts of Naivasha town and will serve as the third round of the Kenya National Rally Championship after Nakuru and Ilbisil rallies.
Paras Pandya and Izar Mirza will compete in this weekend's Equator Rally in Naivasha. The event counts towards the second round of the FIA African Rally Championship after